How's it going? How you been? It's been a long time here for me to actually update you a little bit live, and I just posted a video that you may want to check out on the Facebook page for Kolibri Expeditions and for Seven Wonders Birding. It's the same video, and the it was actually a video that I put together for the Rio Grande Valley Birding Festival, which this year is going to be, it's going to be digital and not live presence. So I was asked to make a video and to present Kolibri Expeditions and Seven Wonders Birding. So I thought quite a bit about how to do this and what focus I should do on this. And so one idea that I came up with was to show how different this concept is compared to a lot of the other tour operators that are out there, especially this with the 5-day tours. So that is widely explained in the video. I've written out a text that I'm reading out, so it's very concise and concentrated on this sort of the different aspects of this bucket list birding approach of just 5 days. So if you have a non-birding friend or a spouse or someone who's just gotten into birding, this would be a perfect video to watch and share. And I'm sure that you will persuade quite a few people coming on a birding tour with you when it's only 5 days, right? So check that out and let me know. Let me know what you think about it. Okay. So here in Peru, things are getting better. We're getting close to summer now. It's we got nice sunny weather in Lima, and we have also sort of resumed our work here in Lima. It's still remotely, of course. We're not sort of attending at the office, and we will more and more be turning our office into a so it's possible to do remote work. So we're sort of in the process of getting that together. And in the meantime, just recently, myself and Juan Julca, we've been in central Peru. We've been back to Satipo Road and started the project there. The community is very much in favor of starting that project. We traveled a little bit also near Hacienda Amorique, which is close to La Merced. Some spectacular birding there with cloud forest screech owl and cerulean capped manakin and many others. And we just started today a new 16-day Central Peru tour. And Juan is guiding the first part. I'm joining up on Sunday. And so I will be taking a bus from here, from Lima, on Saturday night. And I will wake up in Huánuco. It's a comfortable bus. It's like 180 degrees sleepers bus. And it takes about 8 hours. So it's perfect. Yeah. So you take the bus here in Lima, and then you wake up in Huánuco next morning to go straight up birding at Wunchog and see the golden back mountain tanagers and others. So that will start on Saturday night. On Sunday, we'll be in Huánuco. But there's another guy coming from the UK, and he just managed to get out before they locked down in the UK for 1 month. So people that are still in the UK, you can't travel, but he managed to get out. He's actually in Sweden right now, enjoying the pubs. They're actually open in Stockholm. So, so he will be coming to Peru on the 13th. So I will come back from Central Peru, meet up with him, and then we will. This is in the middle of the day on the 13th, so we will drive to La Merced on the 13th. So if you're interested in joining up for a Central Peru tour, sorry, people in the UK, that's too late now. You can't get out. And the same thing, I think, goes for Canada and Australia. But if you're in the US, you should be able to. And flights have now resumed directly from the US to Peru, to Lima. If you come from other places in Europe, you will have most likely have to go via Madrid or maybe Amsterdam. And what you do is that you travel to an intermediate point. You cannot fly directly to Peru yet, but you can fly to the US, for instance, or to Mexico City, or maybe to Bogota, and then connect from there. So we have flights from intermediate flights from most of South America and Central America, plus the US. Those are the flights that are coming into Lima right now. And so, what about the COVID here? How are we doing? We're actually doing, well, if not great, at least much, much better than we have in many months. And for the last month or so, our numbers of new daily cases have been the same as it was initially, say in April or something like that. So we're around 2,000 new cases per day, and in deaths around 40, 50 or so per day. That may seem high, but there may be like secondary complications, etc. And of course, here in Peru, our network with the hospitals and so forth is not as good as back in Sweden or even in the US or in Europe. But there's still a lot of good cases, and there are empty beds for intensive care units and so forth. So we're pretty well prepared, I would say, now that Peru is opening up. It has been opening up for the last month, and Machu Picchu just opened the other day. It's open again, 30% capacity. There are lots of COVID-19 policies in place, so you feel safe wherever you go. They will check your temperature, you wash your hands, they offer you alcohol, etc. You keep the distance and line and so forth. Yesterday, when I went to pick up the guy from the US that came to Peru, I was not allowed to go into the airport to pick him up, so I had to wait for him outside. And so you can see that there's a lot of policies in place in order to keep this epidemic at keeping it controlled. And one thing that I've been pondering about a little bit also is that the new cases that we find in Lima or in the rest of Peru, for that matter, I wonder how many of those are actually active cases, because most of the testing in Peru are made by the fast test, the rapid tests. And many of those, of course, are people who have already had COVID-19, and but without showing any symptoms, or at least very mild symptoms. So I think a lot of the new cases that are reported now, of those 2,000 or so, are actually people that already had COVID-19 without knowing it, right? And this also means that the numbers as is right now, it's just under 1 million. We're doing much better internationally in terms of sort of total numbers than has been shown before. I mean, we were like number 5 in the world at one point, and now we're down at 11. So that's sort of positive. But I think there's also a huge number of people who has already had COVID-19 without knowing it and have not been tested. So as people are getting tested for various reasons, they take the fast test and they find out, oh, wow, I have antibodies. Oh, I wonder if they are actually active or if there's something in the past. And they will still be counted as new cases, of course. So it makes me wonder, and I've seen some articles about this also, that we may be actually close to herd immunity in Peru, considering that the rate of new cases is not going up in spite of Peru opening up, right? So I'm quite yeah, I'm positive in terms of that. Hopefully this means that we are getting out of this rather difficult situation. My driver, Manuel, was tested with a fast test 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago and turned out positive. So I was saying to him, well, you probably had it already without any symptoms. And so he went off and had an active PCR test, and it showed that he actually had the virus active. And so we hadn't met in person, so it was like no risk of spreading the virus. We just talked on the phone. But so he couldn't go on our last trip, but he has now been 2 weeks isolated and has not had a single symptom of COVID-19. So he's off now and taking care of the car as we're driving, as they are driving to Central Peru. And so what I'm saying is that there are probably a lot of cases like that. A lot of cases are of people not knowing that they even had the COVID-19, right? Hadn't it been that he had taken the fast test, he would not have taken the PCR test, and he would not have known that he was actually had gotten COVID-19, that he was infected. So that's quite interesting, I think. Anyway, so let's see what's up on the agenda next. We have coming up also in December, there may be a North Peru trip in the beginning of December, but there's also a lot of interest of making Northern Peru between Christmas and New Year's. I don't know if you looked at the calendar, but if you have a look at the calendar, you will see that by taking 3 days off, you can actually have a 11-day holiday. It works like Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve fall on Thursdays. So if you're off on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and then you have Saturday and Sunday off, you actually get 11 days continuously for holidays that you could take in Peru. And if you have more time, take 3 more days and you have 16 days, right? So you can start already on I think the 19th or something like that. So get in touch with me if you want to come to Peru. Take this opportunity. I have a tour running during that time. I will likely guide it myself during that time. So yeah, hit me with an email. I also am getting interest for both the photography trip to Northern Peru in January. We will start with our condor watching project, or condor hide rather, where we're feeding the condors now in November, and we will build the hide in January. So the idea here is to actually get a photography group together, maybe not to use the hide straight away, but at least to go visiting the area. And there's spectacular photography to be done also of flying condors, even if we don't get the hide together. And there are ways that we can do like a temporary hide also for condors if there are interest in that. All right. So that is one thing. And the other thing is that we're also planning to do a regular Northern Peru tour of either 10 or 16 days. And you are most welcome to join. There are some people already interested, and I will be in January. For longer than that, yeah, I don't know. We have things in the calendar. You check it out. But whether the trips will run or not the first couple of months, I don't know. We should all be back in business all over the world, I guess, by next summer, hopefully. So that was all I had to tell you about right now. So hit me back with an email or a comment just below, and I'll see you here. I'll see you here next time. Bye.